Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Hey! Great news today. Isn't it just amazing? We should not be surprised, but many are. I warned them. I told them. I even educated them as to why Alberta couldn't separate. But did they listen? Oh my God, no. It's just an old Indian talking. They would never listen to me. But the judge did. And there was times I did speak up. I didn't go to the last hearings that they had in Edmonton in November because I just had faith and trust that, this judge knew the constitutional law very well when I researched him, and I knew that he understood that anything that affected the Constitution, affected our rights, affected our treaties, I totally get it. And guess what? The separatists are some disappointed today to find out that they will not be able to put forth any type of referendum towards separation, any type of question for a referendum towards separation, separating Alberta from Canada. And it did, it got done quicker than I thought, to be honest. I thought this might be a couple of years battle. But as it turns out, this judge kind of squashed it. And he was a little bit upset that Danielle thought she could, jump in there and try and change things. So the wording could be changed or whatever. There was some kind of difference there that he was a little upset about around that. And no, Danielle did not squash the separation ideology. It was the judge in the court building, downtown Edmonton, December 5th, 2025. And if you watch the news, it's all over the news. And the reality is, folks, our treaties have been here for a long time. Treaty 6, Treaty 7, Treaty 8. I've been saying that for many, many years. And we need to educate our young people about the power of treaty and the power of our inherent rights being upheld under the Constitution, Section 25 and 35. So we need to be aware of these things, and our future generations also need to be aware of these things. And it's a celebration for us. It's a win for us. As much as other people would like to take the credit, it wasn't the petition that people put forth that won this round. It was our inherent rights that won this round, and our treaties that, are with Canada. Canada is the spokesperson for the Crown, and so that's who our treaties are with, and we have all the borders in place. We participated in allowing Alberta to become part of Canada, to be a province, and we gave that permission. And people need to understand, and all these denialism out there, people who really think that they're taking care of us, you're not. We've been taking care of you all this time, because the reality is we could have charged you an awful lot more for living on our land. And the small pittances that you've been giving us, the crumbs that you've been throwing at us, that's going to change in the near future, because rent is due, and rent is going up. Understand that. There's many provinces that are now recognizing that they don't have the authority that they think they do, as they revert their land back to our people. We only take so much, because the reality is, if you're attacking the treaty, and if you're not abiding by the treaty, you're breaching the treaty. That's not something that's been discussed anywhere. And when you breach the treaty, you're breaking international law. And so you need to step back and recognize and acknowledge. And I really do wish that Canada would inform its citizens through some sort of, pamphlets going out to everybody of what is their responsibility under the treaties and what treaties they live on. Because people aren't taking time to research, well, what treaty do I live under, and what's my responsibility under the treaty? And I'll tell you this, for sure, it's your responsibility to treat the Indigenous people of this land, the original people of this land, a little bit better, and with a little bit more consideration and compassion that you've been doing since you got here. Even if you're a second-generation immigrant to this land, you are privileged to be on our land. And the reality is, we need to negotiate around being at the table of who's going to come to our land and who's going to be able to reside in our land. Because some of the people that have come here do not understand the word to live in peaceful harmony. They do not understand the word respect, and they do not understand the word treaty. And those type of people don't belong here. They need to just stay where they're at. Instead of coming here and causing problems, more problems that we have to solve as Indigenous people because of their ignorance and their racism and their discrimination. You know, I was watching Janis Joplin today, late Janis Joplin. Many of you my age would recognize the name. And I think about people who have died from drug addiction and drug overdose, all these people who are Hollywood superstars. I don't hear people calling them dirty and ignorant and stupid and crazy and all these things. I hear people still upholding their talent, upholding them as a person, you know. And then you get, I see some of these same people going down the streets of places in Canada and spitting on our people who are passed out on the streets or homeless and addicted to some kind of substance. You know, when a person becomes addicted, it's not their choice at that point. Yes, they do have a choice to go into programs that might help them come out of addictions. But when you're feeling like you're nobody in this world and nobody cares or nobody gives a damn about you, and all you've experienced is hatred from every direction, you're not going to be motivated to get well. You're not going to be motivated to change your style of living. And the other thing is too as well, you know, Canadians have created this almost class system of, you know, the rich, the middle class is now becoming almost extinct. It's either you got lots of money or you're poor. And when you come into places like Edmonton, Alberta or Winnipeg, and where there's a high population of Indigenous people, you know, they get discriminated to rent a place to live. They get discriminated for jobs. They get discriminated to enter into any kind of education just because they're Indigenous. Instead of reaching out to us in the capacity of treaty and goodwill and understanding you have a part to play as a Canadian, you should be shaking the hand of our people. We can now read English, write English, understand English at very educated levels. And we can now understand more so the harm that's been done to us intentionally by those we trusted to live in harmony with us. There's been no war. There's been no winning from us. There's been no, you know, defeating us in any way. We agreed through treaty to live in harmony on this land. We didn't give up the land. It remains our land. So those of you out there crying and boo-hooing because you lost the ability to separate Alberta from Canada, well, you're more than welcome to pack your bags, pick up your running shoes, and go down south and move in with the Trump mega nonsense, mega monsters, mega maggots. We don't want you here if you don't have respect for us, the Indigenous people of this land. You don't belong here because you are breaching treaty.